do think that one of the reasons that Donald Trump won was because he rejected all of this hemming and hawing. He rejected all of this identity politics. And these days, it is popular to criticize Donald Trump. It is popular to question the legitimacy of his electoral victory. A lot of the people who are obsessed with the Russia investigation, people from the fake news media, what they really want to do is essentially to sort of bring out anything that makes the current president look bad. Well, I think it's high comedy. It's great theater. I think people are sort of always reacting in such odd ways to Donald Trump talking the way that Donald Trump talks. He's different from other presidents. And in fact,
why do we want theater from the president?
Well, because this is how the president, this particular president is. This is the person that the American people elected. And now, when it comes to the trade issues, I don't think he was ever kidding around when he talked about protecting America's trade interests. Those are issues that he's cared a lot about for decades. And so I think when it comes to issues that involve China and how China in particular has been taking advantage of the United States, whether it's through intellectual property theft, right, whether it's through the forced transfer of American technology in exchange for market share, and a number of other things. I think those are issues that his administration will continue to take very seriously. I think it's quite rich for Jake to sit there and talk about Donald Trump's comments. I mean, where were you when Hillary Clinton threatened Juanita Broaddrick, someone who accused Bill Clinton of rape? We do know about radical Islam in the U.S. is that there's a majority of Muslims in America who believe that they should have the option of being governed by Sharia law. That is a very serious problem, and that is something that affects our homeland security. Now, do you hear people like Hillary and Barack Obama talking about that? Of course not. They would prefer to talk about bigotry. They would prefer to talk about racism. And what people across the country will tell you is that they're sick and tired of politicians talking that way. They want someone who is serious about protecting us, and like Bill Maher says, there is actually something very serious that we need to be afraid of. Radical Islamic terrorism is something that we are genuinely afraid of.
And how about defense?
Well, I think the problem is that the mainstream media not only does not know how to exercise objectivity, it has no shame. You know, time and again, we see that he's taken a lot of heat for calling for building a wall and asking Mexico to pay for it. He's not backed away from that at all, despite the fact that a lot of people really hate him for it.
Would you like to see a wall? Would you like to see all Muslims thrown out of the country?
What I would like to see, and I think a lot of people across the U.S. would like to see, is tighter border security. I would like to see politicians on both sides of the aisle actually take that much more seriously than they do now. I would like to see that people who care for common sense solutions on securing the border aren't just needlessly labeled as racist and xenophobes.